What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Making It Relatable. It's great to have you here. And, still no views. Still no views. So I'm confident in saying that at least I'm making my uh, my goal reasonable. That if, you know, that I should just be looking for one single view. If I can get one view on, geez, any of the videos I've posted, to me, that's a win. That's like, some people want to get like 1 million subscribers and things like that. If I just get one view, I'm a happy guy. I'm doing really well. I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna feel good. Um, but I realized that a lot of these, all this that I'm doing is really, you know what? It's going to be for me. It's going to be for me. I do want to build a community. I want to, you know, be able to help people and be able to have people maybe relate to some of the things that I'm going through and have them feel that they are not alone in some of the struggles that they are seeing in their life, so that and they can kind of see that somebody else is also going through all kinds of struggles and perhaps have them feel a little bit more comfortable with whatever they're going through. And and then also, you know I think it'd be really good to be able to have people know that we're working together through these struggles, that you're not alone. You're not alone. And I made some notes actually here about some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about during this episode. And I think I'm going to do this for now, and I'm just going to make some like quick notes as I come up with ideas, as I think about stuff. I'm just going to jot it down, and then I'll mention it. I'll talk about it. Clearly, I have a cough. You can tell that this entire episode I'm going to be coughing like nonstop. It's going to be annoying. I would imagine more for you than it is for me. Uh, but yeah, it's been like this for a couple days now. I got the chills and crazy neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain. Um, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Yeah, I definitely had a fever. Was feeling super weak, super weak, and so I'm pretty convinced I got the vid. Pretty convinced, which I'm okay with. I'm actually totally okay with it. I prefer to get it now rather than later. But who knows? Maybe I didn't. I didn't take a test. I don't really care either way. If I got it, I got it. If I didn't, I didn't. Either way, I'm just chilling out anyways. And it's not like I'm going to be seeing anybody. So all is good. But yeah, this neck pain is just killer, man. I have this. Uh, it's a lacrosse ball that I got. Came in a pack of two, and I have it on my bed now. So that way, at any point, I can just use it to massage my neck and my shoulder. Because man, it's like it's ruined. I'm telling you, my shoulder and my neck is a complete and utter mess. It's so tight, so tight. Oh, it's awful. But whatever, part of life, right? Part of life. Just just dealing with all these stupid things. You can't let it. It does bring me down for sure. You can't say that it's not going to bring you down, but I try not to let it. I try not to let it. It's a constant work in progress, not to allow it to affect me in any way besides just physically. But yeah, it's really annoying because with this neck and shoulder pain, and my back too, but my back is not as bad. But definitely, I mean, the worst of it is my neck. And I was working on it for hours with that lacrosse ball. And it felt so good. I just put so much pressure right on the back there, right up against my skull too. And I could feel the pain referring all the way around my whole entire head. And I'm pretty convinced that's a big contributor to the headache that I have. Coughing is not helping either. When you cough nonstop all the time, constantly, you're going to get a headache. But it's like right here, right there. So I just like laid down on that lacrosse ball all the way down, and it's super painful to do, but it also kind of feels good at the same time. But then I got to put it on my shoulder. That's the problem too, is I notice that like I'll put it on my neck and then my neck starts feeling better, but then as I'm doing that, my shoulder starts to give. So then I do my, and then I kind of release my shoulder with the lacrosse ball as well. And then my shoulder feels better, but then my neck starts to act up again. It's almost like, helping out one set of tightness on one part of my body ends up having another part of my body compensate. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in that. But I'm going to call my doctor today because there's a bunch of stuff that I want to figure out, mostly to do with my sleep. My sleep is bad. My sleep is super, super bad. And I need to figure that out because for the longest time, so at first I was sleeping, you know, I'd sleep for 8 hours, but I'd get up after about 4, maybe 5, 6 hours, go to the washroom. I'd be up for about 30 minutes. I'd meditate or something like that, and then I'd fall back asleep for another couple hours. And that was fine. I was dealing with that for a long time. Then it kind of got worse. And then I was doing um, the blue light reflecting, deflecting or reflecting glasses, and that helped out a lot. But then that stopped working. And now I'm sleeping, like last night I slept for I think like 3 hours, and then I was just up the entire time. I was up just lying in bed trying to work on my shoulder. So I'm not sure if it's because I'm just in pain, they're not sleeping well. But even when I'm not in pain, that's the thing now. I don't think it has anything to do with that because even when I'm not in pain at all, um, I'm still not sleeping properly. So there's definitely something that's not right. So I'm going to call my doctor today and I'm going to see if I can do one of those sleep tests, where you go overnight to a clinic and and they put like electrodes on you and they measure your brain waves and you just, well, I'm not going to sleep through it the whole night, but you just, you try to sleep the whole night and then they kind of do a readout and they tell you if you've got some sort of sleep apnea or whatever, and then maybe there's something that they can do to help you out. I mean, I don't know if I snore. I've heard that I do snore a little bit, like I'm a light snorer, um, but I never wake up with like that choking sensation or that I'm having trouble breathing or anything like that. I always wake up very calmly, um, for the most part, unless I'm having like a really bad dream. I do get like these really stressful dreams sometimes. So sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, um, because I'm having like a super stressful dream. My heart's beating crazy fast. It's brutal. It's just brutal. So I got to figure this out, man. I got to definitely figure this out. I'm going to call my doctor and yeah, and then I'll post up all about it. I'm going to post up all about it on here. Definitely. But I'm going to be doing this the whole time that we're here together. Is I'm going to be trying to stretch out and massage this this shoulder and neck and cough. I'm gonna stretch out the shoulder, stretch out the neck, and I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna do all three of those things. But I'm also gonna try my best not to complain about it. I don't really like the idea of complaining about stuff. I try my best not to complain. I just say it as it is, and that's it. So no complaints. Just saying it as it is, just talking about the facts. That's all. So actually what I've been doing as well, trying to do a lot to help me fall back asleep, is I was noticing that meditation just really was making a difference. I was trying to use like a mantra or something like that. That worked before, but nope, not working anymore. And I even looked up like positive affirmations to get myself in a really super positive mindset. Because I find late at night when I wake up in the middle of the night, my mind starts racing. And then I think about all like the bad shit that's happened in my life. And then that's not going to help you fall asleep for sure. So I try to go through like these positive affirmations, get myself in a positive mindset, try to calm my mind, help me go back to sleep. But nope, not happening. Not happening. My brain does not want to shut off. So, yeah, see, that's the spot right there. That's the spot. That's really bad. It's like right up against my skull. Just brutal. Brutal, man. Oh, yeah. I'm going to apply pressure here nonstop. This is what I'm doing. I can feel it go all the way around. Like from here, this way, from the back, and then over here. It sucks, man. It sucks. Yeah. Well, whatever. Whatever. It's all part of life, you know? Pain's part of life. Yeah. So going through these positive affirmations, trying to, anyways, trying to. But they're not really having much of an effect. Besides, it does like get me my mind to kind of chill out and stop with all the negative bullshit. Um, so it does help a lot with that. But yeah, that's about it. It doesn't really get me to fall asleep. I think that like I can tell I am wide awake, wide awake. There's nothing that's gonna help me fall asleep. Absolutely nothing at that point. So I even like I tried to get up and I tried to walk around, just walk around the condo a little bit, um, do like a few stretches, stretch out my back. But no, I'm wide awake. I've been up since 3 in the morning. It is now 8:30 in the morning, and I'm not even sleepy, which is super weird. So I'll probably be super tired later on today. I would think. I would definitely think I would be. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get a nap in or something. Oh, this is not bad. This is a pretty good stretch. Maybe that's just what I need to be doing as well. Maybe I need to be doing some serious stretches. I don't know. I have no clue. That feels pretty good, actually. That feels pretty awesome. I would think that I'd feel it more in my chest doing that, but I actually feel it in my shoulder. It's like my shoulder is compressing, but it also kind of feels good at the same time. Super weird, man. Oh, and I got this like weird crack. It's a mess, man. I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart. I'm completely falling apart right now. It's bad. It's pretty bad. It's not good at all. But whatever. Yeah, so most of the stuff that I end up thinking about late at night where my mind is just racing and thinking about just nonsense and just absolute bullshit. Mostly to do with, well, there was one thing in particular that I've been thinking about. Geez, it's been on my mind for like 20 years. It's bad. It's bad. I mean, it's not like straight for 20 years, just here and there I think about it. But lately I've been thinking about it more where there was this guy that I was working with and he was sort of in charge of a project that I was doing with a group. And he just was like a real dick. Guy was just like a real dick. And um and he was putting a lot of pressure on us to do things in a very specific way. And it was the manner in which he was doing it that was just really not cool. And nobody was saying anything. And my blood was boiling, absolutely boiling. And and I mean, this was dealing with him for like a year. I was having a year or 2 years of having to deal with this guy. Um, and it's not like it was so every time we dealt with him, not every time, but most of the time, he was just a real dick. He was not enjoyable to be around. And just yeah, just the manner in which he wanted to lead the project was his leadership skills were really not good. It brought morale down. It wasn't helpful at all to us in the slightest. Um, and nobody was saying anything. Nobody would even bother ever to say something. But this one particular time, um, we were doing this. So I was in this band called Goodbye Glory for about 6 years, and this was a while ago. But I, yeah, we were doing this photo shoot, and he wanted us to do photos in a very specific way. And that's fine. We could do it, but yeah, it was just like all in our face. But anyways, I just snapped at him. I got right up in his face, right up in his face, and I just was like yelling at him at the top of my lungs. I was so pissed, and I couldn't hold it back anymore. I just couldn't hold it back, and I think everybody was pretty surprised. And I was shaking. I was so angry. And then he he left, which was good. Good. He left. It was great. That was good. And then he left us just to do things the way that we wanted to do it. And it was perfect. It was much better when he was gone. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking about that, and I just, I was thinking how shitty of a thing that was to do to him, but uh, and it really bothers me because I don't like to treat somebody like that. I really don't like it. I don't like the idea of yelling at somebody, or like that's abusive behavior, and I don't like the idea of being abusive to somebody at all, because I've been abused in a lot of ways, and I know that it's just a shitty thing to do to somebody. And yeah, so I did that to him, and so I've always felt pretty bad about that. And as I was thinking about it, and it, like, I've noticed that it doesn't help. Thinking about it is not going to help me at all. There's nothing I can do to change what happened. So I try to keep in mind that my thoughts are just thoughts. They don't matter really, and just disregard them and move on. And sometimes it can take me a good like 30 minutes. It's awful. Sometimes it can take me like a good 30 minutes till I even realize that I'm thinking of all these horrible things that have happened in my past. And then I can, once I eventually realize, then I can, you know, tell myself that the thoughts are of no consequence. They don't matter. You know, they can be disregarded. You know, I don't have to think about them anymore. They make no difference in my life. And once I do that, then I'm okay. But it can take me a while, like I said, to even realize that I'm doing that. And I need to start realizing that I'm doing that like as quickly as possible, preferably right away, because that shit does not serve me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. It doesn't help me at all. So that's something that I'm working on. That's for sure. Yeah. And then a lot of this I'm discovering too because I've been calling. So here they have something called the Cope line, and they have a lot of these types of services, I believe, in many different places in the world. But here it's called the Cope line, and the Cope line is just this free number, this number you can call for free, and you can call it anytime, 24/7, and somebody will answer. I think they're all volunteers that work there. Somebody will answer, and you just talk about whatever's on your mind. It's actually pretty good. So I know that a lot of people call it because for extreme cases, but yeah, I call it because I don't I don't think that I'm going through anything extreme, but it's just kind of nice. And there's this one guy that I keep getting, and now we recognize each other's voices. So it's kind of cool, kind of cool. It's almost like you've got a friend, and I mean, he's not there every single night. I don't know what his shifts are like. I don't know when he's going to be there, when he's not going to be there. So I just call when I call, and if he's there, awesome. If he's not, it's fine. What can you do? And yeah, so it's nice. It's nice. and he's super supportive. They're only supposed to be on the phone with you for like 5 minutes, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes max. But this guy would spend, there's so many times where he's spent hours on the phone with me, hours. Nice guy, really nice guy. And he's super calming and positive. So that's helpful. That's super helpful. Definitely. Yeah. So I like doing that. And I'm going to keep doing that for sure. I've been doing that, actually calling that line for years. It's been probably a good like 6 to 8 years that I've been calling that line. It's been really, really good. Super good. So part of me doesn't like to admit these things. I don't like to talk about these things. And something that I've even done with these with this channel is I made a separate account with a separate email address to make sure there's no way that anybody that I know could possibly find this account. I'm hoping anyways. I mean, unless it's like maybe way down the road. Um, but I don't want anybody that I know personally finding out about this account, because what I talk about here, which is kind of interesting, right? It's kind of interesting that what I talk about is super uh like private to me, but yet it's weird because I'm also putting this in a public forum. So it's private to me, to the people that I'm close to, but people that I don't know, it's kind of like, yeah, if you find out, if you know this about me, you know this about me, because it's kind of like you're only going to know about me in this particular way. When it's people that I know already and they already know about me, I don't want them finding out this side of me and the things that I'm going through, because it just changes the dynamics of things a bunch, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but those are my thoughts. And yeah, it just, it's kind of weird to know that that makes me uncomfortable. But to put this in a public forum where just people that I'll probably never meet. Well, that's if I get more, if I get even one view. That's if I get a one view on this video. I don't know if I will get one view. I know there are ways to, research and find out what you can do to up your views, but I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that. I don't really care. I don't want to do any research about finding out what it will take to be able to make my channel the most popular channel in the whole entire world and how I can market it. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to put this stuff out there, post it, and if something comes out of it, cool. If I never get one view, that's fine. It's fine. Um, I really want to get at least one view, but if I don't, then I don't, and it's okay. And part of me also thinks about this might be kind of interesting to go back years later and watch and see what exactly I was going through. In a way, this is kind of like a diary in a public way, on a public forum, but it's a diary nonetheless. And I want to share this diary on a public forum. I want to share it for a number of reasons. Again, perhaps it'll be helpful. I don't know. Maybe it'll be helpful to somebody. Maybe it might be interesting to somebody. Somebody might get something out of it. And I think in a way, kind of, I think about this as potentially a good way to spend my time. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I have no idea. Just my thoughts. I'm also trying not to think too much about why I do what I do. Just do it. And whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. Because there's no point. I've learned that in life so much. There's no point in trying to figure out, what you want your end result to be. At least in my life. I know that a lot of people don't. They say, set a very specific goal and go towards that specific goal, and don't bother trying to don't allow yourself to get sidetracked from that goal. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think that's a big part of life is you'll go on uh, you go on one path to kind of, and you'll just do something, and it'll lead to something else that you could have never even thought of it leading to. So I'm just going to do this. And I'm actually amazed that I'm still posting up videos, because a few videos ago I said it's going to be probably my last one, because I get demotivated. I get super demotivated. I just don't feel like doing stuff. I don't at all. I don't want to do anything. Like, there's a big part of me that doesn't even want to call my doctor today and have to do this whole sleep clinic thing, but I know it'd be good for me, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There's a big part of me that doesn't even want to bother. There's a big part of me that has lost a lot of passion for life. I used to have so much passion for music. And I remember when I was a kid, when I was 14, I had it set in my mind. I was going to be a performing artist. I was going to be a rock star. I was going to do whatever it took. And I sacrificed a lot of my life to try to make that happen. A lot of my life, a lot of relationships, my family time, my schooling. Like, I was so focused on just doing that one thing. And once my band broke up, and that was 2009, so that was a while ago. It's now 2022. It was a long time ago. But once the band broke up, I just lost that passion, drive, and fire for trying to make that dream a reality. I just lost the desire, and with that, I definitely lost a passion for life, because that was my life. Like, that was my identity. That's what my identity was, and that's what I wanted my identity to be. And well, now that it isn't, I don't have that passion anymore. I just don't. I don't at all. um I mean, I am passionate about certain things. I mean, I do like teaching. I do like teaching music. I like the personal development that I do for a lot of people. I like all that stuff that I do, but I don't have, it's not the same passion. It's definitely not the same passion, not the same level of excitement or drive. It's just like whatever, just letting life pass by, which sounds like not the way that you really should be living. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someday something will get me all excited and will bring that passion back to me. Maybe. But whatever. I'm just going to keep doing whatever I do, and whatever happens happens. Looking at my notes here to make sure I'm covering everything I want to cover, everything I want to say. Um, yeah, I was going to talk about the relationships in my life a bunch, mostly my intimate relationships. This is something I was thinking about bringing up a couple posts before this one, but I was reluctant to. But I think it's fine. I've made some really bad choices with intimate partners, pretty much as bad as it can get. It's hard for me to go through the exact things that happened, but I'll just give you sort of a high level overview. Uh, I've allowed really toxic, abusive, destructive, dangerous, intimate partners into my life. Um, people that were willing to destroy their own life if as long as it would bring me down as well. Um, People that were out for to try to figure out a way that if they weren't getting exactly what they wanted from me, and even in a lot of ways, some of them would say that, you know, like would tell me that I'm great and all this stuff, but then the next moment they would be upset about something that they couldn't even put into words and want to seek some sort of revenge on me. Um, and that was definitely clear by their actions. A lot of things that were done. There was some really bad stuff that I had to deal with. Some really bad stuff. And it's my fault. I blame myself because I allowed these people into my life. So it's my fault. It's nobody else's. If I didn't allow them into my life, then I would have been fine. But I did. I did allow them into my life. And it has definitely affected me. It has definitely affected me pretty badly in a lot of ways. I think that in the combination of not having the same passion for life has definitely has brought some interesting challenges. Um, yeah. So I want to eventually I want to go into some of the details. Maybe if I get maybe if I get a view, maybe if I get one view, then I'll do it. We'll see. No promises. I mean, I can't even promise I'm going to post up another video ever again. I'm not going to make any promises because I find it much easier to make promises to other people and stick by them. But when I make promises to myself, it's much easier for me to break those promises and not bother following through at all. It's pretty easy, like to just not even bother thinking about it anymore or figuring out a way to just to just do something different. Um, yeah, it all goes back to the motivation. A lot of times I'm just not motivated at all. I just cannot be bothered. I just don't have an ounce of energy that I want to put forward for promises that I make to myself. A lot of times, I'd say the large majority of times, it's not good. It's not good. Really not good at all. So this is a big one that I'm going to talk about. I've been super reluctant to mention this, super reluctant, but I moved back home. I moved back home with my parents. That's been a hard transition to face, a really hard transition to face. Because I kind of, maybe it serves me right. Maybe it serves me right because in a way I looked down on the idea. In a way I looked very much down on the idea of moving back home with parents at an older age. I'm 41, moved back home with my parents. You know, a big part of me is working on making sure I don't feel like a loser. And you know, there's a lot of people that I know that are living at home with parents. And do I think of them as losers? No. I think a lot of them have had some really tough cards they've been dealt. So perhaps I should look at it the same for me. But it's different when it's yourself going through stuff. I know that it is. And I know at the same time you still, want to look at it in a way that you would look at it when it if it was a best friend going through something. If it's a best friend, you wouldn't be putting them down about it. You would try to lift them up and encourage them and motivate them. So I try to do that, but I know it's easier said than done. But that's what's going on. I'm back home with my folks. They go to Florida every year for about 6 months. So I've had the place to myself. They get back soon in a couple months. They'll be back about a month and a half. And so I'll deal with it then. My dad definitely does not want me to be here. He doesn't. He really doesn't like that I'm here. My mom, on the other hand, she's cool with it. She, in a lot of ways, she says anyways that she likes that I'm here. Whether that's true or not is a different story. But she says that she likes that I'm here. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I'm trying to just figure out life right now. Trying to figure out a lot of things. I'm trying to figure out a direction. Trying to figure out how I can get my income stream back on track. There's a lot to figure out. A lot. Anyways, that's about it. That's everything I wanted to say for today, anyways. And who knows? I might never post up another video ever again. We'll see what happens. I don't know. If I don't, then, well, thanks for checking this out. If you do, if I get one view, I will be very happy to see that I got one view on this video. All the other views I've ever gotten have been views of me just viewing it myself. Just, I go back and I'll watch some of my own videos just to kind of look at what I had to say at that time. But I haven't gotten one view from anybody else besides myself. So if I get a view from anybody else, or just a random person out there, then that would be great. That'd be awesome. If I bring value to somebody, that's even better. If I get a like, even better. If I get a subscription, even better. If I get a comment, even better. But if I don't, then I don't. Like I said, this might be my last video ever. Might not be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Just playing it by ear. Just doing whatever happens. That's it. Thanks for coming by. If you did. Bye for now.